welcome to Chinwag with the Horseman. I'm Andrew.
I'm Mayberry.
I'm James.
And I'm Casey.
Thank you so much for joining us. Those of you who are on YouTube, I'm not sure if the previous episode was ever uploaded to YouTube, but we're trying to do things with YouTube. James is indicating, for the audio fans, James is indicating that it was definitely not uploaded. So you might have 2 episodes to view on YouTube, but however you're watching us, listening to us, however you're getting your Chinwag content, we sure do appreciate you doing it. We're available like wherever you're getting your podcast, but we're also available on YouTube. You can check the videos out because we are handsome devils. And Casey has his sweet headset on, like he's doing air traffic control at some kind of major airport, but it's all good.
I'm doing this while I'm directing traffic, so it's a little much.
Yeah, I feel like you should probably be paying attention to the air traffic situation. But
because there could be snakes on a plane, Casey. There could be a snakes on a plane.
But we're glad that you're joining us. We're going to get right into it here. We don't have, and this is a sad thing to say, but we don't have any mail this week. We were hoping for some mail, and none came.
Send us some mail, guys.
Reach out to us. We'd love to read your comment on the air, assuming it's appropriate and not overly sexual about Aberry. We've all been there, but we got to.
We get lots of mail directed to Aberry. Nudes. Just
so many nudes.
Oh man.
Yeah, I wish they would get to me.
You've got access to the email. You've got access to Chinwag with the Horseman.
No, I don't. Because every time I try to log in, it wants like a 6-digit code, and it goes to one of you guys' phones.
Well, here's the other thing about that, Aberry. It's mostly like fan fiction, so it's mostly you anyway.
Yeah.
So
how did James describe me last night? I look like a bear.
I have literally no idea what you're.
Bear, Sasquatch creature.
Oh yeah.
Everybody looks like a bear and Sasquatch mated
combo.
What was that? Why were we worried about that? What was that about?
There's no one would give me a ride to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
When Avery leaves his little troll shack, he's got to scurry down the mountain, use the bathroom, and nobody will give him a ride because when they drive by, they're like, "Is that a bear or Sasquatch?"
I think his office should be under a bridge so they could come out from under it.
It's as close to under a bridge as you can get. So for those of you who might not know what we're talking about, Aberry works security gate, and he's in a little shack, and it's like Aberry's a big dude, and this shack is not built for Aberry. I can tell you that right now. It was not designed with Aberry in mind, but it's funny. So we make jokes about Aberry's troll shack. But we'll get into the Boo Bear question of the week here. But before we do that, Aberry, for the folks to reach out to us. Nope, Aberry's saying no. So James, for the folks to reach out to us by email, where do they need to send those emails?
Oh, they need to send them to chinwagwithhorseman@gmail.com.
See, the last time I threw it to Aberry, he almost choked to death on a sip of soda for that. So probably best maybe not to while he's shotgunning one soda after another. But,
we think that's soda.
We've not examined it. Aberry's gone. Oh, there he is.
He's back.
He had to get into his cooler back there.
Break out the Yeti.
Everybody needs a guy that throws the beers, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't think he's doing anything since Austin retired. So,
well, he's about to do something more on that later. He's about to have a little work again. But Casey, if the folks are listening to us on podcasts and they want to check us out on YouTube, where can they do that at?
Well, they can do that at Chinwag with the Horseman at YouTube.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me?
Just go to YouTube.
Are you saying to me that the name of our free video content YouTube channel is Chinwag with the Horseman?
You're absolutely correct. It is.
That's unbelievable.
I know. You could probably just type it into Google. Boom. It would be there somewhere, in the top 99 results at least.
But a quick aside on that, you have to make sure that you have your safe search turned off, or we don't. So you want to, before you search Chinwag with the Horseman, be sure you have your safe search feature deactivated. That's a joke. Don't do that. God knows what would come up if you did that.
Yeah, we are right here.
No, Aberry, no.
It's blurred out.
It's blurred out.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah.
It's not gonna. It's not
What
gonna
is that?
show
Is
up.
that the YouTube?
That's the YouTube.
Awesome.
Nice.
Hold on.
Did you Google it?
Now, see?
Look at that. Amazing.
Hey, hey.
Boom. Nice.
We have
I love
15
it.
videos.
15 videos. That's our entire back catalog of podcast episodes. Maybe I don't know what's on.
I
there,
think there's a few missing.
Yeah, there's quite a bit missing.
including the most
amazing.
recent one, right? We don't have that one on there yet, but
Yeah, that one's not up there yet.
we'll get to it.
I
Listen,
got a little lazy.
this is free, so you'll be fine. This is free. You'll be okay for a little while.
We don't have it
So-
monetized like some people.
Yeah, that's right.
Please tell me we did not spell New Year the way it's spelled on this YouTube video.
Hey,
I mean,
the
probably
English
so.
language is hard and complicated for some.
Wait, now I have to look. Hang on.
Here, I can
Mainly
tell
Casey.
you.
Uh-oh.
I got it right here.
Hey, Brad, I can definitely not see it there.
Yeah, we can't.
Oh
see
my
it there.
gosh.
What doofus is in charge of our YouTube channel?
I don't know, but if you look at episode 17, the thumbnail of it, we look ridiculous. Every one of us looks ridiculous. Pretty amazing.
Which one is that one?
A Horseman Christmas.
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I don't know how the thumbnails get set up, but
I don't
think
either.
They pick probably the worst pictures of each of us out of the episode, and those are the ones that they go with.
I've tried to change them.
I mean,
it's just crazy.
yeah, Casey looks like he's yawning right in the middle of it.
Yep.
Yeah, one of them's like,
guys, you know what that just means? Is we should just do our own thumbnails.
I don't know how, hey, Barry. I'm not that technical.
Again, it's free, so
Yeah,
No,
this is
You
what
can
you get.
complain,
We're not trained professionals at this.
I can
we-
complain because
if we-
I'm part of the group.
Some of us work 9
that's
to
true.
5
Barry. You
jobs.
can complain.
we all work jobs.
Yeah, I
95
was just saying.
for most of us.
Yeah.
You don't work 9 to 5 any more than I do, Barry.
Hey, man, you just have to love what you do, and you'll never work another day in your life.
That's true. I love my job.
I get paid for my job.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Before we-
Anywho's,
before we go off on a very dangerous tangent, James, you want to take us into the Boo Bear question of the week?
so the Boo Bear question of the week is kind of weird. He asked,
Imagine that.
Ain't
Huh?
that hard?
Imagine that. It's
Yeah, I
kind of
know,
weird.
it's just kind of weird. Well, most of them are. It's a
Wait,
would you
let me-
rather?
hang on just a second. I'm sorry to interrupt. Casey, please don't scratch your butt in the middle of the YouTube recording. This is going out to millions of people, man, live to tape.
Well,
Come
you
on,
should just be. You should just be glad I'm wearing pants.
I am glad you're wearing pants.
As
All
far
right,
as you know.
All yours. Sorry, brother.
I'm in my house. I don't have to wear pants.
Please
There it
do.
is.
So here we go. Boo Bear question of the week. It's another would you rather question, and it is would you rather continue to live in reality where Avery may or may not be wearing pants, or in the Matrix where you hope they're computer generated pants for the
Or at
rest
least
of your
it's-
life?
At least everything's pixelated in the
Yeah.
Matrix, maybe. All
I
right.
don't know.
I have a question.
Okay.
If you choose the Matrix, are you aware that you're in the Matrix?
How do you know you're not in the Matrix now?
I mean, for the purposes of this hypothetical, if I choose to live in the real world, and is it the real world from the Matrix where everything has gone to shit, or is it the current real world?
What's the difference?
Good point. That's a good point. It's a good point. We don't have flying robots. Well, no, we do. We have the drones, killing American citizens without trial. So
I mean, we've got self-replicating nanobots in stem cells, frog stem cells.
that's very exciting.
Now, I got one question.
All right.
Okay. No, you cannot be Neo. You can be Trinity.
Trinity. Nice.
No, but like, if I know I'm in the Matrix, can I, have access to like the kung fu, to
Like
learn,
download.
like Krav Maga and like karate and jujitsu?
Just
I mean,
download it. man.
technically, if you're in the Matrix, no, because you have to be unplugged from the Matrix to be able to have access to that kind of stuff.
Well,
But
wouldn't that
that's the
make it
question,
easy?
though. Like, do you have when you're in the Matrix? Are you just one of the NPCs that are not aware, or are you one of the people that have been unplugged and can go back in kind of at will?
So Andrew's method is: are you in the room with
Morpheus?
thank you, with Morpheus and take the blue pill?
What happens if you took both the pills at the same time? Would you be pseudo like in and out of it?
No, you would die.
Just
The
grab
red
both.
one was a poison pill.
Be like, you
It's
know,
just gonna kill you straight off. If you
you'd
take
be
the
like
red
somebody
one,
that
the
like
red
has
one kills you.
narcolepsy. Maybe they're just like functioning just fine, and then all of a sudden, whoop.
That's because they took both pills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
So under the right conditions, I would go into the Matrix. That's if I'm aware that I'm in the Matrix, and if I have access, like Aber was saying, to all the kung fu and if I can get all the guns and the helicopter programs and all of that stuff. If I can do that, sure.
All the cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the Matrix, the movie makes it look pretty cool.
Even
You know, if you're
even if
Neo.
I have to fight,
Yeah, if you're the one, it looks pretty cool. If you're not, it just is terrible.
What's
It
the
looks awful
difference?
for
If
Okay.
you're- if
By the
you're
way,
aware
if-
of the Matrix, but you're not the one, the only difference is you can't fly. I
Or
can't
catch
fly
bullets or
anyway.
whatever.
That whole well, it's not a trilogy anymore because they had a fourth one that just came out.
It's a quadrilogy.
Quadrilogy there.
did anybody
That's
watch
a
the
new
fourth
word.
one? By the
Um,
way,
No. I heard it was terrible.
I know I have seen 3. Like I have seen it as in, oh hey, look, that's Nero going back to the Oracle. Left the room, came back. Oh look, now they're all in the ship again. That's about to get attacked. And left again, came back. I have seen it like Scarface.
Do you do you guys believe that the first one was awesome and then they got like nosedived after that?
Yes.
Is that a general
Yeah.
consensus? among
Casey, I'm
everybody?
sorry to tell
The
you
first one
this.
set the level like
It's
here,
like- Pretty awesome.
and then the next one was like rock bottom. And then they were like, man, we made so much money off of this crappy movie. Let's make another one.
Yeah.
And I really think they were just trying to outdo Battlefield Earth.
They almost succeeded.
Yeah.
Almost.
I do gotta say though, the video game for the second one was pretty cool.
Is that Enter the Matrix?
Yeah.
Yeah. Enter the Matrix was cool.
Well, you get to play as not Nero, but you get to play as whatever the other guy's name is.
Jada Pinkett Smith or the dude.
The dude.
You do both. You have a choice. You can be Jada.
Yeah,
Pinkett
yeah.
Smith or the dude.
I'm sorry, I'm playing the guy.
Yeah, me too. I was the dude.
Because I'm a guy. I'm gonna play the guy.
Nothing
I get-
wrong with it. I mean,
I
be
get
Jada
that there's some
Pinkett.
people out there that would love to play as the female.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. Because I always have those moments of those old commercials or whatever. The fat, greasy guy in the chair with his computer playing World of Warcraft. That's like, I'm a sexy female. And then the guy, that stuff. And I just can't do it.
Wow. I got-
Definitely Newman playing, right? From
Newman.
Seinfeld.
Something.
He's always the guy that's on the computer, doing stuff like that.
His character name was Newman in the film JFK as well.
Mhm.
Really?
Coincidence? I don't think so.
I don't either. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff, saying we might actually be living in a simulation. I've noticed lately.
Oh, that is
What do you think?
terrible.
Is it true?
Well,
we're
okay.
living in a thing. I don't know. If you're invested in a crypto IRA, you might be living in some kind of alternate reality.
I don't
do-
know.
I-
If you did it in 2008, you're living in a freaking millionaire reality.
Yeah, if you're doing it now, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Now's not a good time for that. Some
No.
people we know.
On my screen, you're pointing at James.
Well, on my screen and the screen that'll be on YouTube, I'm not.
Yeah.
Why are you pointing at Avery for?
Again, I'm not.
Why are you pointing at yourself?
Yeah, that was it.
But I got a question. So if we are living in the Matrix
Mhm.
right now, so I'm like ones and zeros. Is the theory that you are playing off of is when my avatar dies, some guy's just gonna remove my headset and go, "Wasn't that a great life you lived?"
Not Total Recall.
Well,
Or is
yes,
somebody
hey,
playing a
Greg,
video game as us?
That's going to happen, but you have the opportunity to deposit another token and then continue.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Is it continue or does it start over when you put a new token in?
There's only one way to find out.
Because I don't believe in reincarnation.
Well, I don't either.
So
This is clearly a ridiculous fictional
Discussion.
hypothetical question. I don't think we need to say, well, Andrew, I don't believe in reincarnation, as if I do, as if I'm over here like, in the next life you will all be monkeys. No, that is not my theology.
And we're really editing that part out where Andrew does a terrible Indian accent.
Wasn't it Indian?
yes, it was.
Yes, it was Hindu.
No, you're all wrong. In the next life, you all will be monkeys.
We'll all be monkeys together, probably.
Yeah,
you will all be one monkey.
That'll be fine. Just as long as one of us sit in the tail. Not it.
Redo, not it.
No.
Ultimate final.
Wait. No. Hold on. Andrew is always the tail because he called caboose.
Are we like a Voltron monkey? Like,
yes,
together to become the monkey? Like,
can we not be separate monkeys?
We are a Voltron monkey.
We are the parentiers.
All right, hang on.
Like, what's wrong with that monkey? Why is it slapping itself in the face with its tail all the time?
What's wrong with that monkey?
Like its left arm and right arm don't seem to be like.
We would be the monkey together. Not selected for experiments because they're like something's already wrong with that one.
Like, they'll send that one back.
Here's the vote on the question of the week. Casey, is it the Matrix or the real world?
The Matrix.
Hey, Barry.
The real
world. What are you doing, man? Why are you drinking and looking off into the distance like you've not had 45 minutes to think about this question?
He's staying hydrated.
And that's fine. But he waits until I ask him something and then he goes,
No, you have two other people you could choose from.
He already asked Casey.
You could ask James.
James.
One other person.
James, Barry's hydrating. What is your answer?
Matrix.
What'd you say?
Matrix.
Okay, Barry.
Real
world.
One life.
It's up to you, Andrew. Tiebreaker here. Or tie maker.
No, it's not. 2-1 is not a tie, bro.
Are you high?
I didn't go to math class all that much.
You're a doctor, basically.
Basically.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like a dentist.
No, you're not.
From the.
You're basically a psychiatrist. As opposed to a real doctor.
No.
I'm going to say Matrix under the previously discussed conditions, but I will say real world if those conditions don't exist.
Yeah. Because those probably doesn't.
Yeah. So.
Oh, well.
Real world. So
moving on.
We don't have a definitive answer on this one.
Do we have a definitive answer on any of them?
I feel like we usually do. We usually come to some kind of.
Well, let's be honest. Andrew's sitting on the fence, so he's going to get a spin up his butt. While you and Casey's are thinking you're going to be running around the Matrix. And I'm like, nah, man, real world.
Everybody's like, I'm the only person here that has a brain.
Nah.
What's wrong with that monkey?
The rest of you monkeys are...
Moving on.
The monkey's biting its tail.
The monkey's biting its face. How's it even doing that?
Why is the tail trying to strangle the monkey?
This is going to be the worst episode we've ever done.
Yes.
We might need to restart.
We're not restarting. We are
15 minutes in.
We're more than that. We are 21 minutes into this thing. We are not restarting. So Casey, you're up next with your fancy new video game thing that
fancy
you were going to show 2 weeks ago, and
and it was gone. I couldn't find it because my kids took it and disappeared it.
You got it now, though.
I do. I'm going to unblur my background.
Isn't it amazing how little kids can you give them something and then all of a sudden it's gone and you don't take your eye off of them. You're like, here, hold this. And they're just like, okay, boom, gone.
If you ever find their stash, there's going to be a lot of stuff there. Found out where they're hiding stuff or what alternate dimension they're putting things in.
The Matrix.
I don't know what kind of dimension they're putting stuff in, but yeah, I can hand my kid a pen, like looking at her, hand it to her.
Gone.
She takes it from me and says, "Thank you, Daddy," and then it's gone. And I'm like, "Where did it go?" And she goes, "Oh,
what pen? You're crazy."
Yeah,
you never handed me a pen.
What was the Joker trick? Just shoves up the nose and just gone.
It's going to show this fancy.
He didn't shove that up somebody's nose. He went into their eye. He killed those people.
went right here.
That dude was dead. Dead, Barry.
Death. You want to see how I got these scars?
You need to have a little more respect for dead fictional characters.
Do you know that took 2 days and 22 hours to shoot?
That's a long time.
2 days and 22 hours. That math doesn't add up there.
So it probably was like 10
days or hours.
Hours.
Oh
no, it was 2 days and like 10 hours on the third day.
For the pencil part?
Yes.
I bet that was hard to do. So Casey, tell us about this fancy new video game.
So, I don't know about you guys. I like The Legend of Zelda. This is the Game & Watch. Legend of Zelda.
I like how you had your own little opening a test sound.
Is that what you do at what, Casey? Just play that game? Okay.
All day long. It's a Game & Watch thing. So it's actually a clock too. So I can just boom, say it's a clock. It's not a game. And then when everybody leaves, playing Zelda again.
Do you ever walk into a room to talk to a patient and act like you're walking into, a dungeon or something from Zelda? And you have like theme music as you open the door?
Open a treasure chest.
Yeah.
And then hold up the clipboard like this.
When they start to leave, you say it's dangerous to go alone. Take this and hand them their prescription.
I do
if
that.
Not, that's what you need to start doing.
And they're like, thanks.
Or do the guy from Left 4 Dead. Pills here.
Pills here.
Pills here.
Oh man. So tell us about this game, Casey. What games does it have on it?
So it's got, the original Zelda for the NES. It's got Zelda 2, also for the NES, which is, in most people's opinion, probably the worst Zelda. I don't know.
But it's almost Zelda 3, so
yeah.
And then there's the Game Boy Zelda, Link's Awakening, the original Game Boy Zelda, not colorized one. But that's it, These things are pretty cool, but I feel like they could put a lot more games on them, or if you could hack them, not to suggest any kind of illicit activity or anything
from the pirate
or piracy or anything. But if you could put, I don't know, this would be so much cooler if it had more stuff on it. And I'm sure there's some, things on Amazon or whatever that you can buy.
Casey, stop. As your lawyer, stop talking.
Casey, answer me this question.
Sure.
When you're doing your hacking piracy stuff, do you wear the eye patch?
Of course.
Okay.
Don't you?
Just as long as you're still wearing that eye patch. No, I don't have the eye patch.
Is anybody okay?
To the eye patch? I do not endorse
he's fine.
hacking.
I think he was having a coughing fit.
Oh, okay.
He kind of inhaled all that water at once.
Have we ever told the story of Casey's eye patch? Did we tell that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
hey, you're starting to sound like our wives.
Tell again.
Yes, we
this
heard
thing.
It.
If
Man,
you turn
it's
it
fantastic. It's a great one.
Oh my gosh, the Triforce appeared.
Hey.
Turn it off. Oh, gone.
Is this battery? I assume.
No, it's not, Casey. It's still there. I can still see it.
Nice.
It was like $50. Probably not worth $50, for being honest.
Was it just Zelda, or do they have other ones?
They've got other ones. They've got Mario, which was the first one of these released. I think it was just I think it may have had Mario and then Mario the Lost Levels, which was like, harder Mario. I guess I don't know.
The weird
But-
Mario where you had to pull the turnips out of the ground and fight Birdo.
No, see that one would be cool. That was the one that was when we were little that was around.
Was that
But
Avengers? What was that?
it was one that was like in Japan or whatever. That was like
Yeah.
a harder version of the
That
original
was-
Mario.
That was not originally going to be a Mario game, and they reskinned it for Mario. That's
I
why
know.
you could play as Princess Peach and Toad and all these other rando characters that you couldn't.
And
do.
why it was
It
way
wasn't
different than
rando
every other
characters.
Mario.
It was Peach, Toad, and Luigi.
Yeah.
And the best
They
one to
weren't there
play
in the
as.
other one. I mean, I don't mean rando like they weren't part of Mario. I mean, who woke up and said, you know what we need is Toad in a game, y'all?
Everybody.
By the way,
The Japanese. Well, we
watched-
lost the Japanese.
Toad,
I watched the guy.
Toad could like fly a little bit with his jump, and so could Luigi.
I watched the guy played that game for a speed run, and the best character to play as was Luigi.
On Mario 2 or whatever.
Yeah, the one where you fought Birdo. Because he
Man,
could jump too
game,
high.
that game was weird because you would fight Birdo, and she would spit eggs at you, and then there was a
You throw
mouse
them
that
back
had
at
like
her.
and then there was a mouse that would like throw bombs at you, and at the end of the levels, a big Hulk bill would like head would open up, and you'd run in it, and it would eat you and send you to the next place.
It was kind of a creepy game in some ways. I don't know.
Really
we
was.
had. I want to bring up a discussion we had earlier. About Toad and his head. Is that a hat? Is that really his head?
No, he's a mushroom. He's
But-
strictly a mushroom.
Apparently,
Well-
there's a real answer to this question, and James found it earlier.
Yeah, it's I think it's on the Super Mario 3 game manual. They explain in it that apparently whatever curse has fallen across the land of the Mushroom Kingdom, it has turned the people into whatever Toad is, and it has turned them into the blocks that Mario is like jumping around and breaking and getting the coins and everything out of.
So wait, what
There's
you are
busted
telling me?
blocks.
So Mario's basically murdering people. So Mario might not be the hero in this. He might just be some guy eating shrooms and going
Busting
on a killer rampage.
killing people.
Yeah.
I got a question though. What you are telling me?
I could see this being like a Grand Theft Auto sort of side mission. Eat all these mushrooms and kill the Goombas.
Have any
So
of
what-
you played the new the Mario Odyssey on the Switch?
No.
No.
See, there's a human city in it. It's like New Donk City. It's like New York, and there's humans in it, but they don't look like Mario. Except, what is Mario if he's not a human?
He's a
Japanese
plumber
anime.
from New York.
He's from the real world, and they're from the Mushroom Kingdom or whatever.
So Mario 2, Super Mario Brothers 2, was originally a game called Doki Panic. The title Yumi Kojo Doki Panic is derived from Doki Doki, a Japanese onomatopoeia for the sound of a quickly beating heart. So eventually they reskinned it to Mario 2. I've always thought that was interesting.
Looked like it took a lot of work probably to reskin the whole game. Or maybe they just changed the characters. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But I bet they had to do some stuff.
Yeah.
So I got a video game.
What did you get?
I got Crusader Kings 3 on the computer, on the PC.
You know what? I played that too. It's on Xbox Live or Xbox whatever Game Pass.
Crusader Kings 3 is?
It is.
I thought it was PC exclusive, but
But if you have Xbox Game Pass, you also get access to PC games, and Crusader Kings 3
oh,
was on there. I don't know if it still is, but that is a
Oh, shit.
complicated game, isn't it?
it is a very complicated game. It's Crusader Kings 2 is a little better, but well, so far I like Crusader Kings 2 better, but it's all right. It's a medieval warfare game, so it's fun. You can, marry your children off. That's a little creepy, but that's fun. Hey, Barry, are you
You
okay?
can.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, you just looked
I'm just-
disappointed in us.
You can create
No.
reasons to invade other countries.
You
and
can.
take them over.
Good.
You can create reasons to invade France, which is what I usually do. In Ireland and Scotland, and I plays England,
You would.
as you do, you know. Any other backlog stuff? Everybody, you were watching what were you watching earlier?
Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints.
It's a classic.
A great movie. They're apparently making a Boondocks 3. That's a rumor that's out there.
Was that what got Daryl from The Walking Dead, whatever his name is? What's his real name?
Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. Is that where he started? Was the Boondock Saints? It was like his first break.
That was one of his like first big movie roles.
It was a good movie.
It's a great movie.
The first 20 seasons of The Walking Dead are also pretty good, but I've not seen it in a while.
Are there literally over 20 seasons of The Walking
No,
Dead?
I'm just kidding. There's probably like 10 now or something.
Yeah, they're in the final seasons, I think, is what they're calling it now. But
I think
they've
he's
broken it up into like parts, so it's like final season part 1 and then part 2.
You're gonna stretch it out over
and
5
part
years.
3. Yeah,
But he's one of the only characters left on there that's the original character, I think, isn't he?
after like season 4, maybe season 5, it got very monotonous. It was, hey, we found a new establishment. Hey, we found some new people. Hey, we're going to kill these zombies that are now attacking us. Oh no, it's the end of the season and our fortress we had here is gone. Hopefully we'll find one next season. Next season rolls around. Hey, we found new fortress. Hey, we found new people. Like,
It was a pretty cool show.
it was a good show.
It just probably should have ended.
Yeah,
Long
the
time
graphic
ago.
novel is good.
So does it follow the graphic novel or does it diverge?
It kind of does its own
insanely?
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. So,
Well, good.
have you never seen any of The Walking Dead?
I got
None of it.
when we played Left 4 Dead, like 100 million times. I got so burnt out on zombie stuff. And that was about the time it was coming on, and I was just done with zombie stuff. I was not interested.
There was a lot of zombie stuff going on.
for a minute.
a while.
Still a lot of zombie stuff going on.
I know
That's
zombies
true.
are they're just popular. Everybody loves a good zombie.
I know what
Yeah.
we need to do. We need to play Back for Blood.
We should.
Is that the Left 4 Dead?
Yeah,
Made-
that's the kind of Left 4 Dead sort of remake spinoff thing.
It's like the people who made Left 4 Dead left Valve or whoever
Yeah.
and made their own company and made Back for Blood. It's like the same people, I think.
The that movie we watched on Netflix, that zombie movie.
Army
Oh,
of
yeah.
Dead.
Army of the Dead.
That's the first zombie thing I've watched in years, in like 10 years. I just got so sick of it. It was everywhere.
That's understandable.
Speaking of Netflix, I have had Netflix since 2013 and I'm canceling it.
Because of the price increase, or
Yes, I'm not paying $20 for Netflix.
is it going up to $20
$19.99 or something like that. Yeah.
for your standard old Netflix? Is $20?
Well, it's the premium version, which allows us to stream more than one device or whatever. And it says it's great video quality. And I mean, it's good video quality, but that gum, if I've got Peacock and Paramount and HBO and Hulu and Disney, you've got basically everything.
Yeah.
They're $20 each. You're paying as much as you would for cable, anyways.
Well,
Well, I
and they're
mean-
not $20 each,
I
but
know,
you're
I'm just
right. If they were, then it'd be cable. I'd have cable, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix is trying to outdo, HBO and Paramount and all that with every month has a new blockbuster movie coming to it. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've like Army of the Dead has been the only one of the blockbuster movies I've watched that they've released on Netflix.
I think me too. Now we watched The Crown, and of course I watched Daredevil, but that's going off of there anyway.
Yeah.
We don't know where it's there. There's no definitive news about where it's going after it leaves Netflix yet either, is there? Don't know if it's coming to
Disney's
Disney
taking
Plus
it.
or if it's gone forever.
I imagine they'll put it on there if they can, because it's their canon, now. So If they're
Is
able
it too
to,
mature for Disney Plus? I wonder.
then it would go on Hulu. Hulu's kind of their more mature. That's where the Deadpool movies are.
Yeah.
So they might do it on Hulu, but I don't know.
I hope they do. I hope they don't just get rid of them, bury them.
You can always buy
Well,
them on Blu-ray.
It's canon now, so it'd be somewhere.
Yeah,
But I pretty much just use Netflix to watch. Like Meat Eater is on Netflix, and I watched old episodes of Forged in Fire that aren't on Hulu. They're on Netflix. So
yeah. Well, anyway, R.I.P. Netflix from Andrew McKinney. I'm sure my cancellation will destroy that company.
Yep, it'll be gone, doomed. Do you remember when Netflix used to mail you CDs?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how old we are.
Yep. None of the kids I work with would ever believe that. I bet if I told them they used to mail you DVDs, whatever, Grandpa.
Used to go to a real store and rent tapes. What's a tape?
Yeah, what's a tape? What's a store?
We used to fight over Batman
cartridges.
Like, oh man, Andrew's got it this week. I can't get it.
Yep. That was it. And like the woman at the checkout, we'd be like, who has it? Well, I can't tell you that. Is it this person?
You know, you would.
I'm going to their house.
It's like we had to share. It's like our town had to share it. You know, when you look back.
Yeah.
I think they would have bought another copy of that.
No, they were making money off
all
of
the time.
Yeah. It was gone. There were increasing demand by having a limited supply. So if they had more of them, you wouldn't have wanted it.
You might be
right. Like, oh, there's 5 copies of Batman. I don't want it.
We wouldn't have had to run to Hometown Video to get to Batman before the other ones. But
that's how I watched. There was a movie called Nanny McPhee, or whatever. That's how I watched that movie. Was at Hometown Video.
Nice.
I stood there for 2 hours and watched it.
Well, Andrew's sister walked down there, so she put something on, I guess, and it was that movie. So I was talking to her and was watching that movie. Why, like I was thinking of what movie to rent.
Everybody's sitting there eating popcorn. That Andrew's sister's popping the cell to people to come in.
What movie should I get?
Watching Nanny McPhee. I don't know if I'm going to watch this movie all the way through.
I've been through 5 gallons of popcorn.
Next? Like that's what was going on.
Can I get more popcorn over here?
Yeah.
So whatever.
They used
drinks running low.
You know, you're right. I hadn't thought about that, but they used to play stuff in there all the time. They had it going all the time.
But it had to be G-rated because you didn't know who was coming through the door. So
yeah, you couldn't.
It wasn't like the movie was intriguing. It was just I was just waiting for something to come back in that I wanted to play.
We used to get old wrestling videos.
Heck yeah.
There. Like Royal Rumble 92 and
gosh, it's the best one.
Survivor Series 93, like all of those.
We should do like a Royal Rumble 92 watch along or something. But anyway, speaking of wrestling, excellent segue, James. It was perfect.
No, if you call it out.
Huh?
No, if you call it out.
If I edit it out, it works just fine.
There's a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Tell us about that, James. Who is it?
So it's Matt Cardona. Used to be Zack Ryder from WWE. He beat Trevor Murdoch last week in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But the bigger news out of that is Nick Aldis has called his shot, and we get to watch that match at the Crockett Cup in just a few short weeks.
That's very exciting.
That is going to be a very exciting time.
We are hopeful that that match will be on Saturday as the main event on Saturday. I kind of doubt it, but we're hopeful, or not Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah. Well, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday would be the best time for that. But we'll see. Well, they've not announced the card.
They're announcing the card this coming week on their YouTube channel.
Yeah, they're doing the bracketology of the cup and everything. So if you're going to be in Nashville in the area, you can buy us a drink or something because we're going to be at the Crockett Cup.
For me, it's going to be my very first
That's
wrestling
right.
event ever.
Yep.
Casey's
Hey,
Brady.
very first wrestling event.
Oh,
He,
yeah,
uh,
he wasn't with us when we went to that one in our home state.
No, he
No,
was
he-
not
he
with us in
wasn't.
Nashville when we saw Ricky Morton wrestle Disco Inferno.
Yeah,
And
it wasn't. So
I'm looking forward to it.
me and Avery, this is our second trip to the Crockett Cup.
yeah,
So
Andrew's fussed because he was like,
Could have been under
work."
second,
I did have to work.
could have been your second.
I know it's a regret. All right, I
but
regret
you're
it.
still
Are you
working at that
happy?
place.
You guys are just beating a dead
No,
horse
I'm not
over here.
happy because it was my
Salt
birthday
in the
gift.
wounds. Yeah,
And you
it
were
was
like-
Avery's birthday gift.
You should feel terrible, Andrew.
I do feel terrible. I'm going to buy Avery a shirt or something at the Crockett Cup.
Salt in the wounds here. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Thanks,
Remember
guys.
that time you ruined everybody's time? I didn't go either, to be fair.
Everyone else remembers and they think about it all the time. This is what I'm going to tell the listeners. This is what having 3 or 4 lifelong friends, will do for you is they will constantly remind you of your shortcomings and failures. And that's valuable. That's very
And
valuable.
they know every one that you've made for your entire life. So
They know
they
every
what to bring.
mistake you've ever made. So
We've got plenty of them between us, so there's lots
no
of
getting away
ammunition.
from it.
A bunch of.
So there's big wrestling news and there's bigger wrestling news. Surprisingly, bigger wrestling news. The big wrestling news from the early part of the week was that it is likely that Stone Cold Steve Austin will be coming out of retirement to wrestle a full match at WrestleMania, and the likely opponent is Kevin Owens. So that should have been the massive news of the week. Nothing should have been bigger than Steve Austin coming out of retirement at WrestleMania.
No, the biggest news is Shane O'Mac trying to start up WCW again.
Oh my gosh. Y'all,
Is it?
this kayfabe news thing is hilarious, and they put out a hilarious article about Shane McMahon restarting WCW. It was really funny.
I did have to
I
ask you
can't
guys
wait
if that was
for
real
it.
or not.
It's gonna be awesome.
When superstar Billy Graham, who is played by Billy Graham, the dead evangelist,
Yeah.
joins forces with Shane McMahon.
Uh,
But the biggest news of the week, the truly earth-shattering news, which, my gosh, how does it get bigger than Stone Cold, right? Leaving or coming back to WWE. Who wants to tell us about it?
Stardust coming back.
Stardust is returning, possibly.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes has left AEW, and it seems likely that he's heading to WWE. Everybody says that anyway.
I think all of that's just a big work. Like, he's going to be back with AEW, maybe not in a wrestling capacity, maybe just a backstage sort of role, booking matches or just doing match creative. But there's no way, with the amount of turmoil and everything he got leaving WWE, he goes back for, just to be jobbed out the any
Miz.
NXT person coming up. Yeah. The Miz.
It'd be the Miz. Well, James, that's an interesting. I hadn't really heard anyone think that. I mean, I've heard people say, "Oh, it's a work," but I've not heard people say it and expect him to not wrestle. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard people say it's a work. That's an interesting thought, but I tend to agree with you.
And on the Stone Cold returning, it's because Shane McMahon has legitimately been quietly released from WWE, and they needed somebody to fill his void at WrestleMania, because they were actually going to build him into one of the key matches at WrestleMania like they do every year. And to fill his quote unquote star power, they needed a big draw, and the WrestleMania is in Texas. Stone Cold used to be from Texas. So now he's back.
Not only
Question
that-
for you guys when you got a sec.
Okay.
Go for it.
So it's wrestling. There's a lot of people have fake names. This is actually Vince McMahon's son, though, like in real life, right?
Yeah.
Did he just kick him out of the WWE?
You would
Is he
call
like,
that
"You're
his
done"?
shoot son.
His-
shoot.
Yeah.
His shoot son, his shoot son.
Yeah. Shoot means real.
That's his shoot
Yeah.
son,
Yeah.
and it kicked him out of the family
Well,
biz.
Shane may have had it coming though.
Yeah.
So
He
Shane
apparently talked down a whole bunch of producers, made like belittled several of them, and was booking himself to win the Royal Rumble.
and he's
Okay. Wait.
I love Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon legit gets a huge pop. He's a big deal in WWE. He is. Go ahead, A.
Guys, he booked himself to be able to throw strikes and outstrike a UFC fighter,
Yeah,
a legit guy who went and actually did UFC.
right. Matt Riddle.
And Shane wrote down, "I will outstrike Matt Riddle." And then he wrote down, "I will be the final four, and the only person that can eliminate me if I can't win has to be Brock Lesnar."
Yeah.
Dang.
He is how old?
Shane, let me see.
He's not a young man, is he?
He's not a young man, and
No, I think he's in his 50s.
I think you're probably right. He's
Maybe.
52. 52.
So a 52-year-old man said that he could outstrike a 30-something, and then he had to be eliminated by another real guy who
Another real
has
UFC
won,
fighter.
who has won championships in UFC, who has won state championships in wrestling.
Hey, Bray, he is the most decorated combat sports figure.
Yeah.
And you go, that's the only guy that can eliminate me.
He's the only one that can get me out.
So Matt Riddle has an MMA record of 8-3. He has won fight of the night one time and submission of the night one time. So he's never won a belt, Matt Riddle, but he's pretty good, evidently, you know. And the idea that
That's like saying that I, a average Joe, could go into a UFC ring and outstrike Mac Riddle
yes, not
with
gonna happen.
zero training.
Do you guys remember that show, Average Joe?
Yes.
It was
That
on
was a
Spike TV where they took literally average people
They should bring that show back.
and
That
they
was a
had
great
to
show.
try to outdo, you know, like recently retired pros. And I forget what one of them was, but like they had to fight John Rocker, the pitcher for the Braves.
Oh, they had to take him. It was like a similar.
Yeah, they had to push
was
him
on the
off the
mound.
mound.
They had to try and take Kurt Angle down 3 times.
Yeah,
and he bloodied a dude's nose.
yeah.
John Rocker.
John
Yeah.
Rocker did, yeah.
Rocker was crazy though. Like
Yes,
okay,
it was.
okay. If you guys haven't seen it, the best sports MLB fight, okay, is Nolan Ryan versus, well, I don't even know the guy's name, but Nolan Ryan is a 40-something-year-old man versus this 20-something kid. The kid comes charging at Nolan. Nolan immediately headlocks him and then starts punching him in the face.
awesome.
The kid had the kid was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. The catcher runs out and goes, who am I supposed to help?
It was Robin Ventura charges the mound versus Nolan Ryan.
It's
That's
great.
what it is.
Just stay off the
Yeah.
mound.
because the guy charges out there and Nolan goes, hup, boom, just beats the crap out of him.
So yeah, a lot going on in wrestling. The Undertaker got announced for the WWE Hall of Fame today. So that's something
I
else.
saw that. It's pretty
You know,
cool.
Nothing earth shattering. But Cody Rhodes, my ideal, and James and I have talked about this. My ideal scenario for Cody Rhodes is he goes back to the NWA for Aldous Rhodes 3.
That would be great because
Yeah.
the first two were fantastic. I mean, the second match was a 2 out of 3 falls.
Did I watch the second match? I don't think I did.
It was at NWA 70.
At the fairgrounds, actually,
Yep.
where we'll be for the Crockett Cup.
Yeah, I don't know because I remember watching. Was it the first one?
Yeah, the first one was at All Out
Yeah, we watched that.
or All In, I guess.
No, yeah, whatever. The first AEW.
Whichever
pay-per-view
AEW's
ever.
first pay-per-view was.
Well, it was
Ever.
really a Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That was part of the intrigue with Ring of Honor when they went on hiatus. Is will AEW buy them because they have Ring of Honor owns the rights to All In. So, but it never did happen. Still could, but yeah, it's interesting. You know, he could stay with AEW still, just because he doesn't have a contract right now. Doesn't mean that he can't get one. He could.
Well, but see, AEW is almost a fluid program because I mean, you could pop up in the NWA.
That's true.
You could pop up in Ring of Honor. You could pop up in TNA. You can pop up in New Japan.
Well, you can't pop up in Ring of Honor anymore, not until at least April if they come back.
Right.
Well,
They
I
gotta
get
come back,
that,
you
but
think?
I'm just saying that AEW is kind of one of those programs that's like, well, you signed a deal with us. That's great. You got to work out shows. But if you want to go and work a program in Japan for New Japan, then
Well,
Go ahead.
Casey, you said will Ring of Honor come back? Yes, but not in the same form. It's going to be like they're not going to do contracts anymore. It's going to be like a big mess of
First show
3
basis.
hours, just wrestling.
No.
So we could we could enter Rayberry finally into wrestling.
Yes,
We
he's
could have-
challenging
we could-
Jonathan Gresham for the world title on
no,
Sunday.
I'm good. I'm good.
You better be training.
Yeah.
it's coming. It's
I
coming.
don't
up.
think my
The
knees.
octopus will
I don't
get
think
you.
my knees could take it.
No, Gresham will tie your knees in knots.
Yeah.
I would not. Now you're a bigger guy than him, but man, that guy's incredible.
But
The problem with his matches and like Zack Sabre Jr. matches, I mean, they are technically sound, but eventually they kind of just slow to a crawl, and like it's enjoyable to watch, but you can't drag those out past 15 minutes.
Yeah, typically I would agree mostly. I mean, you can push it to 30 maybe, but basically I agree because how eventually it doesn't make sense that your opponent would be able to withstand submissions when you've got them when you're cranking on their arms for 20 minutes. Like eventually it doesn't make sense anymore, but I love that style.
I'm not lobbying for suicide dives and tope cenas and all of that stuff, but
right.
You've got to have some striking going on, some kind of wow moments.
Yeah, you do. Whether it's striking or whether you can, work something out in, I don't know, something.
Have a good like chain wrestling. 5 minutes of chain wrestling is a lot, but
yeah, it is.
Well, I think Zack
it's fun.
Sabre
It's
Jr.
exciting. Test of strengths, all that kind of stuff. The willpower grapples and everything were great. But 30 minutes of watching somebody crank on somebody's arm and they still don't submit is not believable.
It's as believable as 40 suicide dives. It's like two extremes, right? And neither one of them really hold.
Yeah.
Well, back to talking about contracts. I think if I was looking to sign a contract with a wrestling company,
He's looking, guys.
no, I'm not. But
Anybody that's listening, he's looking.
I would probably sign it with AEW.
You hear that, AEW?
Just
Because
because
it's ready.
I
Just
mean,
because,
if you want to put an end to the House of Black, Abray's it right there.
You need the advantage.
Yep.
Just-
He's
just
already
because-
intimidated Brody King. He can take out Malachi Black.
Arn Anderson doesn't have a client right now.
Yep. There you go.
Arn,
Just-
we got him. We got him
the
right here.
only reason is because they ain't looking to offload contracts in mid-contract periods
Yeah.
like some other companies. They also ain't gonna look to fire you because like that's one thing Tony Khan has said.
Yeah.
Unless you do something very awful or stupid or can't make it to shows. But again, that's with this whole pandemic, you kind of have to go, well, if you stuck in England, you can't work my shows. So I don't really want to continue to pay you. Now, if it opens back up, holla at us and we will let you back in. But
Well, I think you bring up a really good point about them not wanting to terminate contracts before they're up because, they let Big Swole's contract expire without re-signing. And there was some controversy. He said something like, I just don't think she's a great wrestler or something like that. He said something about her wrestling ability and it was sort of controversial. But whether it was right or wrong for him to say that, the fact that he thinks that and still didn't release her and, let her contract run out and continue to pay her, I think that speaks to him a lot. I agree with you, Barry.
And I mean, I don't think like they have a problem because they have all these big talents in the locker room. But again, he's not looking to spend his shows to be 3 hours.
Right.
Now, like, I mean, if he wants to, he could make the YouTube ones a little bit better and cohesive if that's what you want.
Well, I mean, like the YouTube ones kind of spotlight the newer talent that they're thinking about bringing in or the new people they've signed. And it also gives a lot of the younger talent a platform to work off of that's not on the main shows. You know? So pretty much what the Dark and the other one that they have on YouTube is essentially just playing up to what NXT used to be. And then you've got several veteran people on the AEW roster that are essentially working good programs with younger guys and are doing the quote unquote rub for them to elevate them to better stardom.
Yeah.
Well, I look at it this way. I think what AEW has is probably the best method for them. Yeah, I think it rubs some people the wrong way that they don't get to be on the show as much as they want to be or showcase because, well, yeah, they got CM Punk and not Darby Allin, but Darby's gonna be there. Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole,
Moxley.
Then they have added, Keith Lee. It's not a logjam. It's just how do you walk around them? Because I mean, let's be honest. When was the last time you saw Kenny Omega wrestle a match?
He took time off.
Yeah, he was injured.
Well, but I'm just saying, like, it's
I think he worked the last 3 or 4 months of his title reign before dropping the belt to Paige with a torn labrum or something.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like you could take him out and put somebody else in. And then you got like Kyle O'Reilly, who they pretty much paused his storyline because his wife was giving birth. So they was like, dude, go home, be with your wife.
Yeah, the way they do business is just better. I'll give them that. I don't like all the wrestling, but the way they do business is better.
And I think
Kenny Omega had several surgeries for numerous injuries to include the torn labrum in his shoulder.
Well, I'm not saying that he's not working because he's just taking time off. It's just they are allowing them to go away.
Well, I mean, they essentially paused the Hangman Omega storyline because Hangman's wife gave birth.
Yeah. And it's the best for bit, like it's the best thing because
it's a good thing to do, but it did cost them because that angle was not as hot after however many months he was gone, it was not as hot, and
but what
I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm just saying,
no, but what I'm saying is, I think it was the matches was better because they both wasn't getting beaten backwards and forwards. But like Adam Page has then came back and done the matches with Omega, then had the match with Bryan Danielson, and then had the Texas Death Match with Mother Hawk. But like, if you take people away from the cameras, well, you ain't seen them every week. When they do come back, they get allowed to pop. They get, the fans love them because, oh my God, we haven't seen this person for 3 weeks. He hasn't been in our faces yelling at us, telling us that we suck. Let's give him his due. And I think that's the best for business. I'm not saying sign a bunch of part-timers that doesn't come back for years or, only pop up on random shows. But being able to interchange stars, I think is a better way of doing business than having your main headline out there every night to drive up numbers.
I don't disagree. I mean, it's interesting. It's not normal, quote, normal, But anyway, Avery, you'll have the last word there. But now it's time for our famous segment, Heart Kid Versus. And we have selected, I think, an excellent opponent.
I might give the Heart Kid some chance.
Wait, if we have some first-time listeners, we might need to explain what we're doing here.
Yes, you're right. We should. So where do we begin? Like,
how do we even get onto this segment?
I don't know. I don't remember, but it's basically the Heart Kid from Captain Planet, and we put him in pitched battles with other characters from fiction.
What's his record so far?
Oh, he's lost every time. He lost to Aquaman, and he lost to who was the second?
Pre-serum Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
He's 0-2.
Oh, that's funny. So it's a UFC cage match, basically. Like, that's the rules. It is, you're in a cage match. And tonight's opponent is, and I'm sharing my screen here for the YouTube audience. I hope it works. If it doesn't, I apologize. But Tiny Tim from Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol is tonight's opponent. We had some difficulty determining if he could use his crutch or not.
I think it comes in because the Heart Kid gets his ring.
That's true.
That's a good point. I agree. The crutch comes in.
I mean, Tiny Tim's known with his crutch.
Yep.
Just like the Heart Kid is known with his ring. I don't know.
You're right. That's his standard equipment.
Yeah, that was our standard equipment.
Standard equipment then. So yeah. Well, I think Tiny Tim has got the crutch. If he can, brace himself upon the cage, he can use it to beat the Heart Kid. But
at the end of the day,
how many whacks with this cane does it take to put down the Heart Kid?
Well, it's a teenage boy, seemingly healthy teenage boy versus a disabled child.
How old is Tiny Tim?
Let's see. Maybe I can find some of his stats.
Heart Kid's like, what, 12 or something? I can't remember.
Something like that, 12, 13.
Yeah.
Well, when you Google Tiny Tim, it actually pulls up an individual named Tiny Tim.
Yeah, he sang. He was
yeah.
having a wonderful time. Yeah, anyway. Really high-pitched voice kind of guy.
Wow.
So I just looked up Tiny Tim age Christmas Carol, and it talks about how It's nearly 150 years old. Generations of children know him as Tiny Tim, the good as gold lad who had softened the hard heart of the miserly Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing. Like 150. Okay, according to A Christmas Carol wiki, which oh my gosh, y'all,
Legit source.
7 years old. And
So 7.
And according to regular Wikipedia, he has renal tubular acidosis. Casey, can you shed any light on renal tubular acidosis?
I would have just assumed he had like polio or something. I cannot shed no light on that. I'm sorry.
Well, okay,
Okay.
so that affliction is a type of kidney failure causing the blood to become acidic.
Jeez.
Nice.
So it has also been proposed as a possibility that he had rickets, the lack of vitamin D.
This was
I see, yeah.
what 1800s England or whatever, I guess.
Mhm.
And
So-
if you ever watched the
So either
Oh.
illness is treatable during Dickens's lifetime, but fatal if not treated. Thus, falling in line with the comment of the Ghost of Christmas Past that Tiny Tim would die if the shadows remained unaltered by the future.
So I'm just looking here. There are 21 listed notable portrayals of Tiny Tim. Some of these are animated, some of them are cartoons, but there's 21 of them. So what if we had the 21 actors who play Tiny Tim?
Isn't
Versus-
one of them Bam Bam from the Flintstones?
Well, if that's the case, then he's going to lose.
Then goodbye.
Then the Heart Kid's done.
Okay,
I mean, the
so
Heart-
the fictional
Bam
character
Bam
Tiny
picks up
Tim,
Barney like it's nothing.
7 years old and has rickets
A seemingly healthy 12, 13, 14-year-old.
yes.
He's
I
got a
think-
size advantage. Heart Kid's got a size advantage over,
He does.
and a health advantage.
Doesn't
Yes.
Heart Kid have the ability to heal people? Do you think he heals Tiny Tim as like maybe this act of healing will show compassion in Tiny Tim and he won't beat me up with that crutch anymore?
Okay, so there's one of two options there. Either that happens or he turns heel and he goes right after Tiny Tim. Although
Heart Kid's not turning heel because I'm fairly certain he'd be stripped of the ring if he's evil.
I'm sorry, my bad. I misspoke. Tiny Tim turns heel on the Heart Kid.
Oh, and just continues to beat him
Just
healthy
beats him with
with the crutch.
crutch.
He's like, I'm healthy now.
I don't know why
It's
Tiny
going to
Tim,
hurt even more now.
why would he? I don't know why he would do that, but there's bound to be a reason that he would turn heel on the Heart Kid.
Well, it might take his government check or something. He might not. He might be upset about that. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, Ray, what do you got?
So I just Googled the Hawk Kid from Captain Planet, and I'm saying on his wiki page.
We spent a lot of time on that wiki.
You would think we're editors on this wiki page, but we're not.
Like, man, these
And
guys. spent a lot of time.
so he has, let's see here. I don't see that he can heal people.
Well, it says on Captain Planet's wiki, it does say that the heart ring can summon antibodies to heal. So does that heal rickets though?
You
Well,
have to have the vitamin C.
yeah.
right, to
Vitamin
yes,
D.
because I mean, it says that
For a medical
both of
person,
them,
Casey, you really don't know a whole lot.
I don't know much.
but both of them can be healed.
Just know you need some oranges.
Yeah.
So
That's
so like
sturdy.
so the
Oh, sorry. Just
so the
I'm
hot
thinking-
kid
I'm thinking of
the hot
scurvy.
kid could heal him.
To be
because
fair, I've not
both of
seen
those-
too many people with rickets.
Hey,
Sorry.
Ray,
Sorry,
We're
Avery.
having two different conversations. Go on,
Sorry.
Avery. I'll shut up.
Sorry.
now.
We're ADD minds back to you. Continue.
Both of the diseases could be healed
Yeah.
if they because supposedly at the end of the Christmas Carol, you think that the Tiny Tim survives.
Well, I mean, the shadows have changed in the future, so
Yeah,
I guess old Scrooge is
paid
paying for
the
the
thing.
penance.
I'm gonna-
That and that giant Christmas goose probably had vitamin D in it.
Probably didn't help his kidneys though.
Yeah, if that was the case.
I've got a scenario for you guys. Whenever Avery's down here, I'm just putting that out there.
I just love
Go on,
Avery's
Avery.
face here.
So, Casey, is your scenario related to this, or do we need to vote on this first?
It's related to this. It's
Okay,
a
all right,
kind
hang
of a
Hey Barry, you had kind of a theory that we asked you to hold on to until
Keep going.
until we recorded.
But hang on one second. One of his weaknesses for the Hawk Kid is his ring power can be blocked by evil thoughts.
Okay.
his evil thoughts or just anybody's evil thoughts.
It just says his ring power can be blocked by evil thoughts and is useless against heartless beings.
Oh,
Well, Tiny Tim is good as gold, so he's not heartless.
So,
that's true.
but that kind of puts a hole in my theory. So if he then fixes Tiny Tim, okay, I'm going on the part that Tiny Tim would be pissed because
He's not getting that government check anymore.
His family
Yes,
was relying
no.
on that because
No.
Scrooge sure wasn't paying them enough.
that there was this person out here that could heal me long
This
time
whole
ago.
time.
This whole time could heal me and just was holding this power to himself.
Yeah.
Wait. Question.
That's how he turns heel.
But would the Heart Kid think that this teenager from 150 years into the future should have healed me sooner?
Yeah.
Tiny Tim would.
Why
If
would
they
he?
if they are meeting in the wrestling ring
Yeah.
and this guy who could, say, "Oh, buddy, let's make this even a fair fight. Let me just heal you up." Tiny Tim would be like, "Wait, there was this magical power. I'm good as gold. I couldn't get this ring to heal myself."
Yeah.
That's a good
There
question.
you go.
And so then Tiny Tim, the ring kid, the hot kid goes, "I got this, bibbly bobbly boo." Tiny Tim then goes, "I am healed." Goes to shake his hand, but as he's going to shake his hand, he's pulling that crutch up, whacking hot kid over the head. Still in the
There we
ring.
go. There's the heel turn for Tiny Tim. Avery just explained it out.
You should have healed me sooner. So
Yep.
here's a crutch in the side of your head.
I'm
And then-
better. Tiny Tim probably thinks I'm literally described as good as gold, and this kid over here has a ring that can heal people and is purest of heart. No, I don't think so.
It's purer than Tiny Tim.
And I think then Tiny Tim takes the ring and throws it at
Gaia.
Gaia and be like, "You chose him over me,"
Well,
It was a
so
poor decision.
and then throws the crutch at her.
I wonder if, and then throws the crutch. I wonder if the Planeteers are like the Power Rangers, where there have been numerous incarnations.
Yeah.
So, were there Planeteers? Was there a heart ring in 1848 when Tiny Tim was?
And who does Gaia?
That's
The
when you
spirit
would
of Earth
need
distribute
Captain
these
Planet
rings?
the most.
I mean, yeah, Gaia distributes the rings, so
And she's
she's been
supposedly
around since
Immortal or whatever, right?
since the world was created. So there should be.
Back- I'm just going to throw this out there.
What was that?
I have no
We
clue.
got it. We got an echo.
Everybody just got startled.
Ah!
No, there's
Well,
an echo.
I was hearing myself.
Oh,
It's gone
that-
now.
That back when Tiny Tim was alive in this fictional role, that's when you needed Captain Planet the most.
They were burning
Because
a lot of coal.
They
Yeah, all
was
the
throwing
smog.
shit out the window.
Literally.
They
and
were.
the blue-born plague was running rampant.
Yep. Not wrong.
So why would you not need somebody who thought great about the environment to be back then?
I
So
do not
clearly-
disagree.
Tell you what, if rickets was the only thing he had to worry about, and he had the possibility of getting the plague, he should count himself lucky.
Also
Yeah.
true.
But again, all those people who died from the plague, if there was a hot kid running around with the ring not helping people, everybody would be pissed.
It's pretty
Our
bad.
kid took a vacation during those times, I guess.
Casey, what was your scenario?
Well, if we're gonna vote on a scenario, like you maybe also vote on an alternate scenario. So I'm thinking, earlier you mentioned 40 different people that played Tiny Tim.
21.
21.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like doubling it
Well,
here.
21 in notable appearances, but
Okay,
there's
so-
probably at least 40, really.
At least
Wait,
40.
hold on.
We'll go
Hold
with 40 because that sounds better, I guess.
Wait. Before you do this, Nathan,
I'm
Could
about to
we-
make a huge mistake. Everybody
No.
knows where I'm going.
well, yes, I do. But can we? Okay, this is gonna sound strange,
Yeah.
but could we exclude characters who was playing him in a TV show, but was also doing the play?
Yes.
So that would exclude Bam Bam,
Tweety Bird.
Tweety Bud.
Oh, Twitty Bird would totally rip the Heart Kid's eyes out.
But Bam Bam would just walk up down him with a club and be done.
Yes, I agree with
Um,
Barry. It should only be people who are playing Tiny Tim just as Tiny Tim, not
Just as
Tweety
Tiny
Bird
Tim.
as Tiny Tim, but
So,
I
like
guess-
that puts in the Mickey Mouse one because the kid was playing him as Tiny Tim.
and the frog one, Kermit the Muppets one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So you
Casey.
guys live it. You guys,
You gotta
you don't have the ringus.
this
Okay,
this wouldn't be a
so you
cage
have- you
match.
have
It wouldn't be a
19.
cage. You got
19 to pick
19.
from.
You got your standard, wrestling ring. You got your your Royal Rumble style. Every couple of minutes, another
no,
Tiny
this-
Tim comes out.
This would be
You start out with Heart Kid.
Maybe it would be a
and one Tiny
lumberjack
Tim.
match.
gauntlet. It'd be a
A
gauntlet.
It's a gauntlet.
Is that a better
So
choice for
one-
match?
What happens is somebody, you start out with Tiny Tim and Heart
Yeah.
Kid,
Yes.
and then Heart Kid has to beat that Tiny Tim, and then the next Tiny Tim comes out after he beats him. Not after a determined period of time, but after he beats that Tiny Tim.
I'm just wanting chaos. I'm wanting Tiny Tim's just coming in.
Okay,
They're all trying to throw
fine.
the Heart Kid out of the ring or whatever.
Fine,
I
Casey.
mean-
let's go all chaos
Yeah.
and let's go to elimination chamber with 6 pods, with 2 Tiny Tims per pod.
Wow.
Right? So what would that be? 6, that's 12. So then that'd be in the ring, the Hot Kid versus 7 Tiny Tims.
I think the Tiny Tims would
Yeah,
win
I think
in that
the
scenario.
Tiny Tims win this.
Just
Not
in
in the
sheer
gauntlet.
numbers.
Not in a gauntlet. If you do a gauntlet, or if you do an elimination chamber, or even the Royal Rumble, I think this 14-year-old kid could throw this disabled child over the top rope within
He has
2
enough
weeks.
time. He has
No,
enough
well,
time before they can.
I think when he's trying to toss one of them, the other ones hit him in the leg with the crutch, and they just beat him down with the crutch.
So you're
No.
assuming it's like a battle royal when they all start in the ring.
Well, if it's an
That might be a
elimination
more
chamber,
fair.
they all start in the ring. You got 7 of them with one Heart Kid.
But you have one, it starts 1-on-1, and then the pods open.
But
No.
yes,
So yeah, so
What you gonna
everybody
have?
said 2 in a pod.
you're gonna have 20 pods.
You've got 7 in the ring with the Heart Kid. It's 7-on-1, and then at 2 minutes, there's 2 more showing up.
Yeah, the elimination chamber, they overwhelm him for sure.
Okay, wait. But we are forgetting one thing. So the Hot Kid has, what was it? I read it. One of his powers is Where'd they go here?
Did you lose it?
No, I still have it. Okay, it's above it.
I want to point out real quickly while Aberry's looking this up. Aberry reacted with complete disbelief at the idea that we would have 20 pods in this fictional elimination chamber when the people that were fighting are Tiny Tim and the Heart Kid. But what got you tripped up was 20 pods. That's insane.
You've got to have a level of believability, Andrew. You can't just go all willy-nilly.
What's the standard number of pods, though?
4.
So how many?
Pods,
so say
and
20
2 people
some.
start in the ring is the norm.
Say 20 some Tiny Tims divided by 4 pods. You know, there's going to be like 5 Tiny Tims per pod. Would that overwhelm him if 5 come out at once? You know?
Yes.
Could he handle that, or
No.
would that be too much for him?
In elimination
way too
chamber,
much.
he loses. In battle royal, he loses. Royal Rumble, he wins. 1-on-1, he wins.
I don't think he wins one-on-one.
Wait.
You don't think he wins 1-on-1?
No,
I think in that scenario he heals
can I
Tiny
share
Tim,
the
and
screen
Tiny
for a
Tim then
second?
beats him.
yeah. Tiny Tim beats him with the thing. What is it, Avery? What's your
I just want to show you one quick thing.
Oh, sorry. Hang on.
Because I think you guys need to read this and react to it as I did.
Okay, you got it.
Because I am confused. So right here. He's telepathic without the ring?
Even without the ring, he communicated telepathically with animals while Captain Planet was active, and he has at times felt pain that alerted him to Captain Planet being in danger.
So he's a mutant, basically.
He's basically a mutant.
So I just wanted to throw that out there. So what you're telling me is he could Jean Grey all the Tiny Tims.
No, I don't think so. I think he can.
Professor X them.
It doesn't say he can pick stuff up. He has felt pain from Captain Planet, and he has spoken to animals without his ring. That's all it's done. It doesn't say he can pick stuff up. It doesn't say that he can throw stuff or talk to humans with it. So he still heals Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim whoops him with that crutch out of spite of, why wasn't I given the ring? Why did I have to live with rickets? So
Okay,
I think that's what happens.
Here's a question. What are the chances that Tiny Tim doesn't turn heel? Is it 50-50? Do we say 50-50?
I'd say 60-40.
60-40? Okay. So if it's 60-40, then 40% of the Tiny Tims in the elimination chamber, if he healed them, 40% don't turn heel. So could the Heart Kid and 40% of this 20-chamber elimination chamber, could 40% with the Heart Kid, could they beat the 60?
Would they instantly recognize
I don't
each
think
other
so.
as who the enemy?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that would be what would happen. There would be mass chaos of, is this a good Tiny Tim or a Tiny Tim? And you know, some of the bad Tiny Tims are going to be dual wielding crutches. Yep. So they're just going to be nunchucking the snot out of kids.
I got a question. I got a question here. Just to pose it. I think that he would. So
Man.
let's say that the Hot Kid learns his lesson.
Yeah.
After healing the first one.
Okay. Fair enough.
He survives the first one. Beats him.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. After healing. So now the Hot Kid has a crutch. Plus the ring.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
The door's open and he's not to heal.
If the Heart Kid chooses not to heal the others after he's healed one and he's turned heel and he's beaten them with the crutch, he's no longer pure of heart and the ring would leave him. So he's no longer the Heart Kid. He's just some kid beating up a crippled kid.
But
wait,
okay,
we're going back to this. I don't think it works like Green Lantern, where the ring will leave.
But fine.
I think Gaia would strip him of it.
I think she would look down. She would,
people who are beating the shit out of him with crutches.
she would look down and see him beating some crippled kids, and she'd be like,
He would just look down and be like, yeah, that's the pathetic loser we gave the heart ring when he's getting beaten with crutches.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there then. So if Gaia does strip him of the ring because he's now beating up the second Tiny Tim, okay.
First one was fine.
Does she choose first? Does she choose another would it go from him to a Tiny Tim?
Does it go to the
and then the Tiny Tim then heals all of themselves. Okay. Yeah. The Tiny Tim then heals everybody.
Heals every other Tiny Tim, and as long as the Tiny Tim with the ring isn't beating the Heart Kid, they can just, murder him.
But wait, we got to talk about the ring first for a second. I mean, does the ring go to the most pure person in the world after Heart Kid, or does it go to the closest person of pure heart? Is it going to
you gotta have.
I mean, I don't know very many people that get described as good as gold like Tiny Tim. So I mean, he's right there. Guy would just be like, ring off, ring on.
You got 17 to choose from.
There you go.
You got 17 to choose from.
But there's no reason to believe she would strip him of the heart ring.
I think she would strip him of the
But I do want to.
He's now corrupted.
I do want to
and he could be leading down the path of pollution because of the corruption that is now in his heart.
Wait, you're going to tell me that the Heart Kid, after healing someone that beat him up and then didn't heal anybody else, you're going to tell me he's now at risk of burning the rainforest down?
Yep.
That's elite.
But wait.
That's the slippery slope right there.
So here you go. This is what you forget, Andrew.
You beat up one crippled kid.
You beat up one crippled kid. Next thing you know, you're burning the Amazon.
Yeah. This is what you forget, Andrew. He heals Tiny Tim, the first Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim turns bad and tries to beat him up. So the Hot Kid then defends himself from Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden the pods open and the other Tiny Tims come out and see this kid beating up a guy that looks like him. Hold on.
Beating up our brother.
Hold on. So then the Hot Kid beats up Tiny Tim, the first Tiny Tim. So now the Hot Kid is in a moral dilemma. Now he's thinking bad thoughts because he just beat up this boy that he fixed in front of all these people, so then his ring won't work.
An arena full of people.
because now he has bad thoughts in his head.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me throw this at you. So you're saying that if the Heart Kid was to beat up somebody with some kind of disability, the ring would leave him?
It wouldn't work
because he has bad thoughts in his head.
Okay. It won't work. Okay. Fair enough. Are you going to tell me that this guy doesn't have some kind of disability? They wail on this guy all the time.
The Planeteers don't. They're mythical, magical fairy that comes out of their rings does.
Oh my gosh. I think this is going to be a two-parter on the upload. This is.
I'm just gonna throw this out there.
We're having a pretty. This is a lot big discussion.
So, if the Hot Kid has a bad thought and his ring gets blocked by bad thoughts, he's almost like Green Lantern. So I'm sure the ring would rip off his finger because he's not worthy no more, and it would go to somebody else.
Okay,
there you go.
But it can also be blocked by the bad thoughts of others. So if the 7 Tiny Tims that are already in the ring see the Heart Kid and they all think simultaneously, we're going to beat him up. Wouldn't that stop his ring?
No. See.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on, because again, wait a minute. Wait just a minute.
Tiny Tim has to keep thinking positive thoughts, so when the Hot Kid stupidly heals them,
all right. Wait, that's not big enough.
They gonna beat him up.
Aside from its healing powers, what else?
We're starting to run a little short.
Yeah.
A little short. We're at an hour and a half. Hang on. Are you going to tell me that these people don't have negative thoughts constantly?
That's
but
the
they
reason
don't-
why they don't let him near them. He never goes on missions. He just hangs out in the fortress with Gaia. And they call him on the phone and they're like, "We need you to say heart." Like,
Go ahead and say heart now.
that's what it is.
Okay. All right. Here we go. We gotta do this because we're literally at an hour and a half.
Well, some of it's gonna get cut out.
Some of it will, but my gosh, we've talked about the hot kid for 45 minutes.
The hot kid would lose, is all I'm saying.
Well, hang on.
All right.
Hang on.
Hey, Bray. All right, Bray, you started. Who do you got? Tiny Tim or Heart?
Let me just say, I love this segment. I hope we never stop doing these. This is hilarious. Go ahead, A.
Tiny Tim would beat the crap out of the hot kid.
Yep. Casey?
He would turn heel.
I think the only way that the Heart Kid has a choice is if there's only one Tiny Tim and he takes him out instantly. I think basically, I'm just going with the Tiny Tim. I mean, there's just very little chance that the Heart Kid's going to win.
Andrew, what do you got?
No, you're all wrong. All right. This is how it goes. Royal Rumble style, 2 minutes between entry, Heart Kid wins. Unless one of the Tiny Tims is able to hide. Like they do, he goes under the ring.
So wait,
they
are
always
you
do.
are you pointing the Donk the Clown comes out from under the ring to help the other Donk the Clown win at WrestleMania?
No. I'm talking like Edge comes down and doesn't enter the ring right away. And then when the Heart Kid thinks he's won, he's beaten all these Tiny Tims. Then the other Tiny Tim comes up behind, throws him over the top.
What?
Oh, so Austin Bret Hart.
Yes. Okay. So Heart Kid wins Royal Rumble unless that happens.
No,
Elimination Chamber with 20 chamber and seven Tiny Tims starting in the ring. Heart Kid loses.
Six
He's getting
chamber.
overwhelmed. He loses. One-on-one match. Heart Kid wins. Heart Kid wins one-on-one.
no.
Well, here you go. Here's the
even if Heart Kid heals Tiny Tim, right? And Tiny Tim turns heel, even if that's what happens, you still got a 12-year-old versus a 7-year-old.
but a
7-year-old
got a
with
crutch, though.
Crutch.
So as
The
soon as
12-year-old
as
takes that
soon
crutch
as the
from the
Heart
7-year-old.
Kid, as soon as the Heart Kid heals him, he's like, "Have a good day." Turns around and Tiny Tim's like, "I'll have a good day." Wham! Like
Where's
that's
he going to
what's
go?
gonna
It's a cage match. What does he think he's going to leave the cage match?
Well, yeah, because he thinks Tiny Tim is so happy that he's healed.
Yeah, that's
He's
what's going to happen.
And just
Yeah.
No,
lollygag
So,
around.
all right. So Andrew's voting for the Heart Kid. I take it.
somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
no,
this
it's,
scenario.
no, it's no
So-
fence. There's no fence, Andrew. Choose.
Yeah,
So
there
for
is,
the-
because it's multiple scenarios. Casey
No.
opened the door to multiple scenarios.
All right. Okay.
Oh no.
So we'll go back to our
Fair.
original
Fair.
scenario: cage fight, 1-on-1. Abray's got Tiny Tim. Casey's got Tiny Tim. What do you got,
Heart
Andrew?
Kid. Heart Kid wins.
Heart Kid.
Okay.
Yeah. So 3 against 1. Tiny Tim wins. Heart Kid remains 0-3.
Oh my gosh.
Damn.
Y'all, I don't know how much of this is going to get cut out, but we have now talked for an hour and 35 minutes on this episode, and a lot of that has been Heart Kid versus. This is my favorite segment. I love this
Hot
segment
Kid,
so much.
Hot
so
Kid
ridiculous.
would get dominated.
No, look, it's done. It's done. The Heart Kid lost. It's done. All right. We don't have to-
0-3. Maybe next week he'll fight, Glass Joe or somebody.
No,
That's a good
next
option.
week he's fighting Clubber Lane.
Oh
It's speed bag.
my gosh. Listen, y'all, listeners, put in the comments who you think wins, who takes it. Evidently it's going to be the official decision is Tiny Tim.
Our choice is Tiny Tim.
That's the official choice. We have final word. That's the official choice. But I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on that. So drop us a line. Let us know. Let us know who wins this, and let us know who you would want the Heart Kid to face in a future fight. But man, this one's been wild. This has been a wild Heart Kid versus. Anything else we need to talk about, or are we good?
I think we're good for the worst episode ever.
All right. Well, listen, again, you can reach us at chinwagwithhorseman@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Drop us a line. question of the week, you can feel free to. You don't have to be Boo Bear to ask us a question. So go ahead and throw it out there. We'll read it on the air and answer it. You can check us on YouTube at Chinwag with the Horseman. We are available wherever you get your podcast, but you already knew that because you're listening. So for Chinwag with the Horseman, I'm Andrew.
Watching.
I'm sorry, or watching. So, so for Chinwag with the Horseman, I'm Andrew.
I'm Mayberry.
I'm James.
And I'm Casey.
Thanks for listening.